Today's lesson is called COVID-19 Grows from Wuhan Outbreak to Global Pandemic. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff.
My name is Roger, and today we're going to talk about the coronavirus that has been on the loose in the world for quite some time. And, of course, we're doing this program before July here, so maybe the situation has changed, but we're going to talk about the situation as we see it now, a couple of months before July.
There you go. Today, COVID-19. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk specifically about how it grew from the outbreak, the initial outbreak there in Wuhan, to becoming a global pandemic, okay? Here we've got this word pandemic. Let's say a virus has spread throughout an entire country. You've got yourself a bad situation on your hands. You have yourself an epidemic, a vast one, or you have yourself a pandemic. Yeah, here we've got COVID-19. It started in Wuhan. If it had stayed in China, it still would have been a pandemic. It would have gone all the way throughout China. It might have infected millions of people. Oh my goodness, that would have been a bad situation. But we've got ourselves a global pandemic, a situation where this particular disease has spread throughout the entire world. And that's not a good thing. No, sirree. Pandemics are rarely good things. Anyways, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a short break. But don't go away. When we come back, we'll read about COVID-19.
COVID-19 grows from Wuhan outbreak to global pandemic. When the coronavirus shut down the Chinese city of Wuhan in January, the world looked on from what many considered a safe distance. Too few realized that the disease would quickly grow into one of the worst pandemics in recent history. Many nearby governments saw the danger and took immediate precautions. As COVID-19 spread around China, emptying streets and shutting down the Chinese economy, South Korea found itself battling the largest outbreak outside of China. The country was quick to institute mass testing to help contain the spread. By the end of February, it was testing tens of thousands weekly.
大家好，第一部分我们看到单字 precaution， 这个字是名词，意思是预防措施，像是 take precautions 就表示采取预防措施。例如 You must take precautions against insects in this country because many of them carry diseases. 你必须对这个国家的昆虫采取预防措施，因为它们许多都带有疾病。或是 I assure you that we've taken the necessary precautions to ensure the safety of our passengers. 我向您保证，我们有采取必要的预防措施，以确保乘客安全。另外，补充一个相关片语 safety precautions 表示安全措施。举例来说 As long as you follow the safety precautions at work, you won't get hurt. 你只要遵守工作时的安全措施，就不会受伤。再来，我们看到动词 institute 指开创、建立、制定。例如 The school instituted a dress code. 那间学校制定了服装规定。或是 The city will institute a non-smoking policy in the new year. 该城市会在新的一年制定禁烟政策。另外，这个字也可以当名词，指机构、学院、协会。我们可以说 An institute was formed to study the effects of pollution on the environment. 这间机构的成立是为了要研究空污对环境的影响。
All right, so let's talk about the title here. We're talking about COVID-19, and it grew from an outbreak in Wuhan to becoming a global pandemic. Of course, when we first heard this news, we were hearing about the problem in Wuhan in China. There was an outbreak there in which the disease came out, and it was affecting lots of people there. So yes, it's an outbreak. When something breaks out from someplace, it's an outbreak. Could be a prison break. I guess we wouldn't describe someone escaping from prison as an outbreak. That would just be breaking out of jail. But this is regarding a disease. an epidemic, a pandemic. So yes, there was an outbreak in Wuhan in January, and it became something that affected everybody in the world. It became a global pandemic.
Yes, it says here, when the coronavirus shut down the Chinese city of Wuhan in January, the world looked on from what many considered a safe distance. They thought, yeah, that's Wuhan. That's their problem, not our problem. We are thousands of miles away. We're in different countries. We're separated by oceans, so on and so forth. So, hey, I hope the people in Wuhan there are okay, but we're safe and sound. We are at a safe distance from this particular outbreak. But sadly, this just wasn't the case there. Yes, COVID-19, it grew from being just a small outbreak there in Wuhan to being a big outbreak to being a global pandemic.
Yep, this is the coronavirus. Corona, of course, in Latin and Spanish means crown. That's what some early images of this virus looked like. It doesn't really look like a crown now with better imaging, but we still call it the coronavirus. And yeah, it shut down Wuhan in January. It kind of closed it off. They shut it down. They didn't let people in and out of that city. But the rest of us looked on and thought, look what's happening in China there. Well, China is really far away. It's not going to affect us. Of course, here in Taiwan, lots of people do business in China, so Taiwan was rightly concerned at the beginning that this would affect Taiwan. So, of course, Taiwan got on the bandwagon at the very beginning and said, hey, we need to stop that from spreading into Taiwan. So, yeah, they took some pretty good measures there, while the rest of the world, like Europe and the United States, said, yeah, that's not going to harm us. That's in China. Where's that? That's thousands of miles away. We're a safe distance from there. So too few people, not many people realized that the disease would quickly grow into one of the worst pandemics in recent history. Yeah, there hasn't been one this bad in a long time, huh?
There has not been one this bad in recent history. In fact, I don't remember ever having been through a pandemic before. Okay, I'm about 40 years old. I don't remember anything of this scale ever occurring. There were small outbreaks here or there, but they seemed easily contained, or they were easily contained. Sadly, that was not true for COVID-19. By the way, what scared me here in Taiwan is when government officials in China really took drastic measures, okay? When you shut down an entire city, you know that something serious is happening, that something bad is going on. So yes, when they shut down Wuhan, I went, uh-oh, this is not a laughing matter. This might not be one of those outbreaks that they can easily control because, yes, they're shutting down an entire city. Everybody stay at home. Don't move a muscle. Don't go anywhere. Don't go to work. Don't do anything. Stay in your homes. We're shutting down that city. And that was kind of scary for me. I kind of looked on or witnessed this or observed this from a distance. But even though I thought, I'm probably safe, was I really at a safe distance? No. Yes, this COVID-19 pandemic, it was going to grow and grow and grow before it became a full-fledged global pandemic. Anyways, many nearby governments, saw the danger and took immediate precautions. We happen to be living in a country that actually took some fantastic precautions there at the very beginning. They took immediate precautions here in Taiwan, and they were able to limit that outbreak initially in Taiwan quite well.
Yes, so we're talking about governments close to China, like Korea and Taiwan here. Of course, Korea had some problems with a religious group there, but basically the Koreans started with a bunch of tests there, and they were able to control it fairly well because they saw the danger, as did the government here in Taiwan, and they took those precautions, immediate precautions. They were right away. A precaution just means something that you do ahead of time to prevent disaster because you think, hey, disaster is coming. We learned from the SARS epidemic years ago, so yeah, we're not going to let that happen again. So they took precautions ahead of time. And as COVID-19 spread around China, Emptying streets and shutting down the Chinese economy, South Korea found itself battling the largest outbreak outside of China. Yes, I remember South Korea was a hot spot there for a little while until they got the situation under control. But yes, they were battling a very large outbreak there. And, of course, we did see emptying streets, people not going out into the streets, and maybe some wild animals coming in. And we also saw shutting down the economy. To shut something down means to basically turn it down or to turn it off.
And there you go. They shut down the Chinese economy. Yeah, close the factories, don't go to work, do nothing, stay at home. We're shutting things down. It's kind of like we just turned off the economy switch there. We're shutting things down. The economy is now off, so to speak. Anyways, more on South Korea. The country was quick to institute mass testing to help contain the spread. And I heard about this. They did a very good job instituting mass testing, i.e., they made this an institution. This is something that everyone had to do. They put this into action, and this did help to contain the spread. So there you go. Sometimes you'll see this word institute being used as a noun. That's not the case here. We're using this word institute as a verb, okay? If you do something, if you start to do that thing, if you begin doing that thing, you are either instituting that thing or you're establishing it.
Right. I remember when I was a kid, they instituted a slower speed limit on the freeways in order to save gasoline. They instituted this policy. They started that policy, and eventually it failed, and now you can drive 75 or 80 miles per hour, depending on where you are. But yes, they instituted mass testing. They started mass testing in order to stop the spread or to contain it, to keep it in a smaller area. And by the end of February, it was testing tens of thousands weekly. Yes, we heard about all the tests that they were conducting in Korea, but we did not hear about all the tests they were conducting in the United States. They were behind the game in that big country there. But let's talk about Taiwan in the next part of our lesson. Let's move on and listen.
Taiwan, just about 130 kilometers from the mainland coast, and with its SARS experience 17 years earlier, was quick to act. By late January, the government had established a command center and began planning. Importantly, officials took measures to ensure an ample supply of equipment, such as masks and forehead thermometers.
第二部分，我们看到一个单字 ample， 这个字是形容词，指大量的、充分的、足够的。举例来说，Even though Sheila was given ample time to complete her task, she still came up short. 尽管 Sheila 有充裕的时间完成工作，她还是没能达成。或是 Jackie was given ample opportunity to get her act together. 大家给 Jackie 很多机会，要她振作起来。另外补充一个同义片语 plenty of， 表示丰沛的、很多的。我们可以说 To prepare for the Christmas party,Kelly has bought plenty of decorations and snacks. 为了准备圣诞派对 Kelly 买了许多的装饰品和点心。
Not long ago, I said that we happen to be living in a country that took immediate precautions. Yay, Taiwan, you did a fantastic job where everyone else was kind of dropping the ball, okay? South Korea did a good job. Taiwan did a good job. But, Italy, France, Spain, the United States, they didn't do a really great job when it came to containing this particular pandemic or when it came to taking immediate precautions. But yes, Taiwan did a fantastic job. Now, Taiwan, just about 130 kilometers from the mainland coast, and with its SARS experience 17 years earlier, was quick to act. They remembered SARS, so they didn't waste any time. They acted quickly. By the way, it says here that Taiwan is 130 kilometers from the mainland coast. So Taiwan is the island Okay? The rest of China, you refer to that as being the mainland portion of China. It's the portion of China that is actually connected to the Asian continent.
The mainland, yeah. I guess people from Hawaii refer to the United States as the mainland, whereas Hawaii is an island or a group of islands in the Pacific Ocean. So if they refer to the mainland, they're referring to the part of the USA that's on North America itself. But of course, here we're talking about China, and of course lots of people from Taiwan go to China to do business or to study or to travel or whatever. So of course the danger was very real to people here. And also there was the SARS problem. And that was 17 years earlier, as it says here, 17 years. And Taiwan was quick to act because of that experience, because we all knew what happened then. Everybody got scared then. And we learned our lessons then, what we can do, keep our hands washed and stuff like that, make sure everything is sanitized, wear those surgical masks and stuff like that. So yes, we had learned our lesson. So by late January, the government had established a command center and began planning. So yes, indeed, they made plans based on that experience. We have this command center that was set up or begun or established by the government.
They acted quickly. They started this thing up. They established this command center, and they got to work. They began planning. Now, importantly, officials took measures to ensure an ample supply of equipment, such as masks and forehead thermometers. By the way, if you have an ample supply of that thing, you have either enough of that thing or maybe even more of that thing than you actually need. One way or another, okay, they had enough. They were not running low on these supplies. They planned early and ensured that they had an ample supply of these things, these pieces of equipment like masks and also forehead thermometers, to take your temperature.
Yeah, you could say sufficient, but ample means sufficient and then maybe a little bit more. So yes, we had an ample supply of masks and forehead thermometers, even though we did have to wait in lines for those masks, but at least they were plentiful enough for the population, and they pretty much stopped the spread of the disease. Okay, that brings us to the end of the second part of our lesson for today. Let's continue on now to the third part.
In February, the disease spread outside East Asia, forming new epicenters in Italy, Iran, and Spain. On March 12th, as some world leaders still tried to downplay COVID-19, the World Health Organization declared it a pandemic. Fears that COVID-19 might take hundreds of thousands of lives and push economies into recession finally began to take hold.
第三部分我们看到名词 epicenter， 意思是地震的震央，可引申指事件、活动等最重要或最严重的中心。例如 The epicenter of the earthquake was in 花莲，这次地震的震央在花莲，或是 According to the news, the epicenter of that plague was in Africa。根据新闻报道，那场瘟疫的情况最严重的地方在非洲。接着我们看到单字 downplay， 这个字是动词，指淡化的严重性，对轻描淡写。我们可以说 Authorities downplayed the danger posed by the approaching storm。有关当局对逐渐逼近的风暴造成的威胁轻描淡写。最后我们看到名词 recession， 指经济衰退、不景气。例如 The government is trying to downplay the extent of the recession。政府试图淡化经济衰退的程度。
Okay, let's move on, everyone. In February, the disease spread outside East Asia, forming new epicenters in Italy, Iran, and Spain. Yes, Europe didn't do a very good job, although I heard that Germany did a pretty good job containing things. But I heard all sorts of bad news coming out of Europe. I heard a lot of bad things, especially in Italy, were happening, and then in Spain. In England, which is we consider it a part of Europe, although it's not actually connected to the mainland there, and it's not in the EU anymore. But I believe that top government officials and maybe even a prince got this disease and stuff like that. Yeah, Europe didn't do a very good job with COVID-19, although there were some bright spots here or there. Anyways, it says here that it spread outside of East Asia and it formed an epicenter in Italy.
And other epicenters in Iran and Spain. So those are kind of hot spots, you could say, where this problem was especially pronounced, where the problem was especially serious. So yes, these were epicenters in Italy, Iran, and Spain. And later on, we heard that Spain and Italy kind of got those situations under control. And then the USA became the big hotspot or the big epicenter later on. Now, on March 12th, as some world leaders still tried to downplay COVID-19, the World Health Organization declared it a pandemic. So this is going back to March, and we're talking about March 12th. Some world leaders thought to downplay this problem. To downplay means, oh, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. It's only happening in China or only in Italy. It's not going to happen here. Don't worry about it. Life will continue as normal. Don't worry. They downplayed it. They basically told us that it wasn't that serious.
Yeah, this isn't that important. Yeah, it's in the news, but relax. It's not that big a deal. These world leaders were trying to downplay things, but the WHO, they were not downplaying a thing. They declared COVID-19 a pandemic. Now, fears that COVID-19 might take hundreds of thousands of lives and push economies into recession finally began to take hold at this point, i.e., this is when people started to wake up, okay? They started to wake up to the truth of the matter. They started to realize just how bad COVID-19 could be. By the way, if an economy is said to be in recession, okay, it's no longer growing, okay? Usually you want those economies to grow and grow and grow. Let's say that growth stops. You can be said to be in recession. I believe that sometimes recessions can get really bad and become depressions. That's when economies, yes, they get to a point where they can't recover very easily anymore. But yes, a recession is not as bad as a depression. Maybe economic growth slows down. There's some decline in economic activity, but things can return to normal. But yes, people finally woke up at this point. People finally started to realize the severity of the situation.
And that recession became established. It took a hold that was inevitable. And we'll continue talking about COVID-19 in our next lesson. But right now we're going to listen once again to our Chinese teacher.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny。 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文第一部分提到冠状病毒让中国武汉市在1月封城，那当时许多邻近的政府看到危险就立刻采取预防措施。那么我们用到单字 precaution， 它就是指预防措施。我们来学它的字首字根。好， caution 它有谨慎小心的意思，那么字首 pre 这部分它表示事先，事先的谨慎应该很容易联想到 precaution 它有预防措施的意思嘛。好，那么其实 pre 这个字首它除了表示事先，它还有之前，在什么什么之前的意思，可以用来指向时间或是空间或顺序。好，像怀孕pregnant 这个字当中，它的 pre 表示之前，那么后面的 gnant 它表示生产，在生产之前的那一段时间就表示是怀孕的，有身孕的。那我们再补充几个有字首 pre 的单字，像第一个 predecessor predecessor， 那它的字首 pre 表示之前。decessor 在拉丁文里面它表示退休官员，之前的退休官员那么就表示是以前前辈嘛。那么 predecessor 这个字它常常用来指前任，像是担任某个职务的人，前任的那个人，或者是某事物它的前身。好，第二个补充的是 preliminary preliminary P-R-E-P-O-S-I-T-I-O-N。好，它的字首 P-R-E 表示在什么之前，那么字根 L-I-M-I-N 它表示门口门槛，那么 A-R-Y 它是形容词字尾。同学们可以试着想，人都还在门口，还在门槛的外面，他在那个门槛前面，他都还没有进入到这个正堂，没有进到房子里面，这就像是事情它还在初步阶段，还没有进入主要的重点阶段。那像这样子也许可以联想到 preliminary， 它有起始的初步的意思。好，第三个补充的是 preposition， P-R-E-P-O-S-I-T-I-O-N。 好，它的字首 P-R-E 表示之前，那么 position 我们知道是位置，合在一起 preposition 它其实就是介系词的意思。我们知道通常介系词它的位置会摆在名词之前，摆在名词前面，就可以用这样的方式去联想咯。好，那么课文第三部分提到，在3月12日，一些世界领导人仍然试图淡化新冠肺炎的严重性。好，那这边用到动词 downplay， 它是指淡化什么什么的严重性，对什么什么来轻描淡写。我们把 down 和 play 交换位置，然后拆成2个字变成 play down。play down 这个片语就有贬低啊，或者是淡化啊，降低什么重要性，对什么轻描淡写的意思。那顺便补充2个跟 play 相关的片语。第一个 play out， 它可以表达某件事呢，它以某种方式发展下去，也可以只说把一个角色把它演完。好，那我们来造个例句。We'll just wait and see how things play out. 我们就等着看事情会怎么发展下去。第二个 play off， 这个片语则表示一决胜负，尤其是在可能先前的比赛里面有平手，然后接下来要一决胜负这样。那我们说 play off for third place 就表示一决胜负来争夺季军。好，那么这个片语它在表演礼运当中则是用来表达对戏，演对手戏的意思。那么以上今天的重点整理，我们回顾今天的单字吧。
Precaution. As long as you follow the safety precautions at work, you won't get hurt. Institute. We have instituted a new rule regarding employee cell phone usage. Mainland. The island is connected to the mainland by a bridge. Establish. The company aims to establish a new branch overseas. Ample. Amy started her project weeks in advance, which gives her ample time to work on it. Thermometer. Jean used the thermometer to take her temperature and found that she had a fever. Recession. Many businesses had to lay off employees during the recession.
Okay, everyone. With that, today's article is now complete. But, as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.